Welcome to another outstanding episode of Boomer versus Zoomer. We have two guests on today. We have Celine, aka Starsmitten, as well as Sean, aka Seanic.
Hello.
Welcome, guys. Thank you for coming on.
No
and
problem.
yeah.
Okay, see, when you put an intro to something, I don't know what to say after.
Oh no, it's
No,
fine.
that's
It's
his
actually
job.
my job. I purposely
Okay.
made that
We-
awkward
we
to
just
like cause you
follow-
pain.
We just follow his
perfect.
Yeah,
suit.
you're supposed to follow my lead, but it's kind of
Okay.
weird that you guys gave me this job when I have zero credentials or any reason why I should be the one doing all the talking.
That's
so.
the reason why
Oh.
you got the job.
Is that is that why?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. But yeah, we've been trying to get Celine on for a really long time.
Yeah,
Really long time.
How long is really long?
I don't know.
Since I think
Since
the
the
inception
beginning.
of the show.
Yeah, since the beginning of the show, they asked me, like, literally the first 2 weeks, and I said I can't because I used to wake up at, like, 3 p.m., and the call time for this was, like, 10:30 or something, 11:30, and I was like, I can't make it, and they'd ask me every month. Eventually, they gave up. And then I came back, and I was like, by the way, I'm a morning person now. I can actually make it to Peter's podcast.
And guess what? We are recording
so
right now
now
at
I'm
3:12 p.m.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even fucking matter if you're a
Yeah, it
morning
doesn't
person.
even matter anymore.
No, but seriously, we're super grateful that you're on. Thank you for coming.
Thanks
and
for
also,
having
Sean, thank you
me.
for coming back.
I think 3 is like the perfect time. Like I think if you're not up by 3, we have bigger problems.
Okay, this is coming from the guy that has thrown his entire life and soul into WoW classic hardcore mode.
Yeah. And Hearthstone Battlegrounds.
Oh, yes, 2 Blizzard properties.
I've been playing them like 12 hours a day for the past like
Yeah, but you don't even
7
play
days.
them like 12 hours a day at a set time. You play for like 4 hours, go to sleep from like 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., wake up, play like 4 more hours, and then sleep again for 2 hours, and then you wake up and you play again for like 6 hours.
I'm really guilty about like like when you hang out with all your friends in the living room and then you're like, okay guys, like it's that time of the night. I gotta go to bed. And then everyone is my friend on Battle.net, so everyone just sees like
You're playing well.
Seanic has gone online on Battle.net, and I just Hearthstone has opened, but they don't really see like what I'm doing in Hearthstone. Like that's weird. Why is he playing Hearthstone?
But they know now.
Now they
Now
know.
they know.
I just got Broden into playing Hearthstone.
Actually?
It's bad. Because I was the one that introduced Sean to Hearthstone Battlegrounds because you were typically playing like TFT when it came to
Yeah.
like, auto battlers.
I played like a Giga Chat on the battle game. Yeah, I played
Yeah.
TFT. I dabbled,
Yeah.
and then Peter's on Hearthstone Battlegrounds. Like, is that game really that fun? And then you were saying that Myung is playing. I'm
yeah,
like,
Mion plays that game.
can this game be that
religiously.
good? And then I opened it, and then heroin.
Yeah, you see, I am fucking awful when it comes to strategy games in general, but Hearthstone Battleground is like just fun enough for my dumbass that like I can like continue to play it for hours. Cause TFT, like I get frustrated with because I genuinely just have a bad time every time I go in. I feel like I have to go like certain builds and stuff, and I'm just like, I don't know. It just feels bad when you're doing bad in TFT, if that makes sense.
Do you say like when you're playing TFT? I hear the whole "I'm so unlucky" a lot. Do you ever say that when you play like Battlegrounds as well?
No, yeah, kind of. There are times where like I'm
okay.
like, it's usually like shop refreshes where I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just like not hitting the thing that I'm trying to hit. You know what I mean? Because in Battlegrounds, there are like racial traits and stuff like
Oh.
Murlocs, mechs, etc. The more you go into like certain things, like the less of them will be available. It's like the same
okay.
concept
It's like
as TFT.
similar.
So like there is that aspect to it, but like I don't know. I feel like Hearthstone doesn't have as much like tedious management the way like TFT does, like the character place. I mean, like placement still matters, but like not nearly as much as TFT. And then you also can't see your opponent's boards, so there's no scouting.
There's no like scouting. It
Oh.
feel like it's the perfect amount of like casual and competitiveness.
Okay,
where I
that
can
makes
just,
sense now. If
Like
you can't
us three
scout.
bonded a lot over playing like Valorant,
Yeah.
but the problem with Valorant is there's like so much upkeep.
It
Yeah.
is
Like
a lot of
if I take a
upkeep.
break
Oh
from
my
Valorant for like
God.
3 days and I come back, I'm like, wait, everyone just gets so good all of a sudden? Like,
It's
what? Are you
true.
guys cheating now? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
It's true.
But it's not like that in this game.
Yeah. For this game, I think it's fun because I genuinely just don't really care if I lose.
Mm.
Like I feel like in Valorant, I am so invested that losses feel pretty bad. Like I'm sorry, man. I'm the type of player where like winning is very important to like part of having fun.
In
Like,
the
I know there are
game.
people that gotta have fun, just like fucking around and stuff, and like if they lose, whatever. But for me, if I'm playing ranked and then like I get shit on, I lose, or I play poorly, that I'm not having fun. That's just me. But in Battlegrounds, I'm just like, all right, I went 8th. I don't give a fuck. Let's go again. But even though even for TFT, even though it's like a similar genre, like when I go 8th, there's something about it that just feels so much worse than going 8th in Battlegrounds. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's been my go-to game for like just like casual playing.
Mm.
Do you play anything outside of Valorant these days?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing Cookie Run Kingdom.
Let's go.
Dude,
Okay.
I've been such a mobile gamer these days. I've been playing Cookie Run. I've been playing Honkai, Star Rail, and then
And that game is like
It's a gacha game.
similar to the other gacha game.
Well, it's unique in that it's a strategy RPG. So it's like a turn-based RPG.
it's turn-based. So you know, like old Final Fantasy games, it's
Yeah.
like turn-based. It's exactly like
It's like that.
And the characters like anime characters.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like Genshin characters.
Yeah.
They are Genshin characters?
No,
No.
they
They're
aren't.
like-
It's not the same universe.
It's a separate universe.
So it's not like Super Smash.
No.
Okay, but that would be cool.
Yes.
Dude,
Dude,
I feel like we
actually,
just
what if
diverted
they made, like
topics.
a Super Smash game of Genshin characters and like all the Hoyoverse characters.
I could see that happening.
that would
only-
be really cool.
The only problem with that, so I always think that so like, Super Smash came out and it was like revolutionary because it's
Yeah.
the first time that like Sephiroth is gonna fight Yoshi.
Yeah, the
like when
crossovers
would
are
that
so
happen?
sick.
Or like
Yeah.
Diddy Kong
Like that
fights,
kind of
like,
crossover.
Snake.
Mhm.
But then like Nickelodeon did it, and that was like really hard to play.
Yeah.
It was like Jake the dog. Oh, I guess that's Cartoon Network, but it's like Jake the dog versus like the Iron
SpongeBob,
Giant.
yeah.
Yeah, or like SpongeBob. I'm kind of
Iron Giant, that was Multiversus.
Multiverse.
That was the Warner Brothers one.
So all of them that I've played are like almost good, but it feels like they're missing that like little thing.
There's like a crucial lacking detail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
'cause-
could make the game good, but it's always lacking that.
I heard Multiversus, like the big issue with that game was that it was oriented around 2v2. Like it was very niche in that way, in a way that's like not really appealing to a lot of people.
Mhm.
And then with Nickelodeon, that shit just lacked polish altogether.
I mean, I like the idea that they had with the 2v2. Like, my whole thing was like Smash Bros. Would be like, oh, how cool would it be if you could like combo moves together, like fuse moves together when you're on a team.
Mhm.
And they kind of did that with Multiverses, which was kind of cool, but which I heard it's like it was in beta and then they took it down and they're taking it down for like a year.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Which
I
is
think
crazy to
really
me.
weird.
It's
like no
crazy
game ever
to
does
me.
that.
No,
like goes into
no.
hibernation for a year.
No.
Yeah,
Because
that's
that was like a
crazy.
product people like paid for.
Well,
Like-
yeah, and for like seasons, like season passes.
Yeah.
And then
Oh
on
my
top of
God.
that, it won like game of like fighter game of the year. I've never heard of like a game that's like won an award and then was like peace
Yeah.
for like a year.
I don't know. I feel like every few months I will just like hear news about some kind of multiplayer game that's just like taken offline, which
Yeah.
is like kind of fucking sad if you think about it.
It's
like-
hard to invest. Like they
Yeah.
got rid of Apex Legends Mobile.
Oh,
Um,
dude, right. That shit's gone, right?
Yeah, it's gone. And I don't think they were issuing refunds. So
I
there were a
put
couple-
money in that fucking game.
Yeah.
Are you
Wait, it was
serious?
mobile
Yeah.
separate to.
It was separate.
Yes.
Oh.
Like,
and that
mobile-
was one of the reasons why I
Yeah.
think it didn't like work is because it was its own separate thing.
There's no crossplay,
and
yeah.
There was no like crossplay.
Yeah. Apex Mobile had like its own characters.
Oh yeah, I remember there were like characters and skins that were not in the
Oh.
regular
Yeah.
game.
I
And like
had
some
no
of the
idea.
skins looked really fucking good too.
No, there was some really cool stuff. They had cool modes in there too. They had like team deathmatch before they added it in and all this other stuff. So there were some cool ideas, but it was just like people just didn't play it.
Yeah, I think if they do an Apex iteration again, it's probably just going to be actual like Apex.
They're making a board
on-
game.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you guys ever played like a video game adapted into the board game when you play the board game?
Yes.
yes.
Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
That's a
It's
board
so-
game.
Is it
yes,
good?
And it's so good.
Is it?
It's a bitch to set up.
Okay. Fair.
It is
As
a
all
bitch
board
to
games
set
are.
up.
I do think a lot of problem with board games that they are kind of hard to set up.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting like Sellers of Catan vibes.
Yeah, that's what
Is
I
it like
thought too.
competitive? Like
It's cooperative.
farming? Okay.
It's cooperative, but so you're playing against whatever that company is that runs it. For everybody who plays Stardew Valley, there's like an evil corporation. It's basically buying up stuff, and so you're playing against them, and there's seasons, and there's all this stuff. But it's
Wow.
really good. I got it off of their Kickstarter. I don't know if they
Oh shit. Okay.
sell.
Celine's a farming game fiend, by the
I
way.
really am.
That's like one of
it's
her
really,
favorite genres.
really fun. If you got people to hunker down and just like,
How many players is it?
I think it's 4. It's 4 to 6.
Okay, the real question is, how long does it take to explain the instructions for that game?
I mean, it takes.
Because that
It
is
definitely
like the,
helps if you've played the game before, because then certain mechanics make sense.
some of the translates.
But like,
Okay.
if they're brand new, then it's like it's a little bit overwhelming. But
Okay.
You always have
That's
to
it,
watch
that's
like a quick 5-minute YouTube tutorial because like you try and explain a rule to your friends versus like a
Oh, yeah.
professional person trying to explain the rules is like night and day.
Listen, I've tried that before too, but it was like a 30-minute YouTube video, and my friends just like were on their phones by the time like
Yeah.
it was like maybe
I
2
would
minutes
lose
in.
interest in like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get someone into like playing a new game if the like description is too high.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you know, Steam sometimes you're like, oh, you tell your friend like, dude, let's play this game together. And they're like, sure. And it's like $30 and they're like, $30 to like try the game? Like,
Which is why I bought several copies of a game
I
called
shouldn't have
Monster
brought this
Hunter
up.
Rise.
here we go again.
I bought 11 copies of Monster Hunter Rise, and one person actually tried to play the game for more than an hour. Thank you, Sid. At least you tried and told me you didn't like the game.
I did
And
play it for more than I played
Another
with him.
person that played it
But I bought it for myself.
got sponsored by the game. So Skara, I didn't need to buy him a copy. Everyone else, fucking no one touched it.
I
Yeah,
bought
but they
one
can
copy.
return it. Like Steam has a
No,
pretty
the
good
thing, the
return.
fucked up thing is they installed the game.
oh, I installed
But
it.
isn't it based on time in the game? I'm
Yeah,
pretty
but then they
sure.
didn't.
But they just did.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be honest.
They
I didn't
can still-
refund
I
it.
think no. I think
I
there's
think-
like a lingering hope in the back of my head, like maybe one day we'll just get really fucking drunk or high or some shit, and then we'll just like launch up Monster Hunter
Or
Rise.
there's like an
But I
absolute
know it's not
drought.
gonna happen. So
with
it's
games.
whatever. Yeah, I've made my peace. Fuck it. Whatever.
Yeah, there's like a really small chance I play. Like,
No, the thing
so
is, okay,
small.
okay, but the thing is, when Monster Hunter World came out and I was playing it with Albert, we got Sean to try it, and he actually liked it. Like, he liked it. He stopped himself. Was like, this is kind of bringing me back to my WoW days. That's what you said. I'm quoting you
but
verbatim.
now
and
World
he was
Warcraft
like,
has returned.
and so he was like, I can't play this game because I'm afraid I'm gonna get addicted. And so he stopped playing because he was like, I have to focus on like League and other games, the competitive games.
I think
So he stopped.
I don't have an excuse because I play Hearthstone Battlegrounds, but I have a problem now that I'm kind of like grown up where like I can't. It's hard for me to play a game that I don't see like a future in.
Wow, that hurt me so badly. That dude.
It would be
okay,
different. Like, do you stream Monster Hunter?
We have.
We have.
We have.
But I would not. I wouldn't stream
But
that
they
game.
would watch you.
Okay, sure, but I like don't feel comfortable streaming that game. I like games that have like PvP.
He does like games that have PvP.
I get it.
Maybe if they made like a Monster Hunter party game.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Like Mario Party, but Monster
yeah, like
Hunter.
it could be a Mario Party, like any sort of
or like a themed.
like a Overcooked. You know what I mean? Like a party game where you get people. It's very simple to know, but it changes every time you play. Easier to get.
So
in.
just like not Monster.
I'm sure there's a way to do it.
Like Monster Hunter
I'm sure.
characters, but
I mean,
nothing like Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
To be fair, they made a Monster Hunter game that's like a JRPG, like a turn-based JRPG.
Yeah.
So at least there's that for the people who don't want the active combat.
I do think it's so hard to get people into like, how do you describe it? Like games that are a bit more,
Involved?
competitive games are fast. Your commitment is like what, 20 minutes to an hour. Monster Hunter is like 500-hour commitment.
yeah.
Well, each hunt is like 20 minutes to an hour.
But I don't
Think
think
of like
people
one
look at it
game
that
of League
way.
is equivalent to one game of Monster Hunter, and like losing in Monster Hunter is way less frustrating than losing in League of Legends.
I don't know. I mean, I get into games like that fine, but like I feel like Sean has difficulty getting into games that
Yeah, I have
are
to
a
like
bit
sharpen
more
my weapon,
progression.
and then my bard has to like
based.
play his great horn, and then I have to like get my spear rotation, and then the dragon cleaves me, and then flies to another side of the mountain. I'm like, I can't play this. This is for what? And then I kill him finally after like an hour, and then he drops one scale, and then I go to the shop guy. I'm like, yo, I got one dragon scale. How many do I? And he's like, you need 50 to make this armor. I'm like, okay, but how many armor pieces are there? There's 6. I'm like,
But
League
that's
of Legends.
the fun.
League of Legends. I like own a guy. I just shit all over him, and then I type in all chat like, dude, you're so bad. And then I know he's fuming. I know he's so mad. Like in Monster Hunter, the NPC makes me mad, and then the shopkeeper makes me mad, and it's just like I didn't really annoy anyone in this scenario.
Dude, you know what's crazy though? When I first played League, I didn't really come from PvP games. I played like a lot of single player games, like more story based games. I remember playing the game and like you get to level 18, 18's max level in game, right? And then you buy items and stuff. And then after the game was over, I was like, wait, I have to start that all over? Like, you want me to CS again? You want me to buy items again? Level up again? And I was like, it just didn't make sense to me because I was so used to playing, like, save progression games. And I was just like, you want me to do this over and over again? But then I got into the spirit of it. I understood, like, the competitive integrity and all of that. And I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. But before that, I was baffled at the idea of like resetting over and over again every game.
I also think chess is lame.
Okay, well I didn't play chess.
So dude, WoW is just like Monster Hunter.
No,
exactly.
You group up,
WoW
you take on
is not
dungeons
like
until you
Monster
get the
Hunter.
gear you want, and gear up to take on harder dungeons.
Yeah, and you do
They're
the
not the
dungeon
same.
over and
It's
over
the
again
same
to perfect
fucking
your
thing.
stats
They're not
and
the
your
same.
gear.
In hardcore WoW, you can't do the same dungeon more than once. And if you die in real life.
But you also play retail WoW.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna play again. Are you guys playing retail WoW 100%?
You know the new raid comes out today?
Yeah, but like I don't like log back on. Like, and there's nothing on the line. So I've learned I just like high stakes, high rewards. That's why I like.
What if we played Monster Hunter?
There's
high
no
stakes?
stakes.
If you die in Monster Hunter, you have to make a new character.
Permadeath.
I would cry. Actually,
I
can
mean,
you imagine
There
that?
are a lot of bullshit wasted.
Hardcore
Yeah,
Monster Hunter?
Hardcore Monster Hunter sounds awful.
I
Honestly,
would not. That's
Monster
like something
Hunter-
a pro player would do.
Monster Hunter has some things from like Tarkov that's like hard for me to like wrap my head around. Like,
Oh my god, Tarkov.
like I
is-
hit this
oh.
boss and I'm like, I don't know if it's. I have no idea what its health is, or like, there's so many things. It's like real life. Like I fight a bear and I stab the bear. I don't know how much health the bear has, but I know the bear's gonna kill me if I don't finish it in like 3 seconds. Like it's enraged,
Yeah.
and now the timer's begun.
Yeah. So you don't like not seeing health bars?
I mean, I would like to see health bars.
I mean, there are mods, but
I-
it like
no,
defeats.
No, I do know one thing. When I first played Monster Hunter World, the biggest turnoff was that I was doing 7 damage at a time.
How do you know you're doing 7 damage?
You see your damage
In the
on
new
the
Monster
thing,
Hunter
but you don't see
games,
its health bar.
you can see the damage that you do.
Yeah.
Not the damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, dude, this is a struggle. Coming from like games where you see like big flashy
Yeah,
numbers.
like wow, you're doing like 100K.
So
per
that's the
hit.
biggest turnoff for retail WoW is like I hit someone for like 1 million. I'm like, that seems like a lot. And then his health bar doesn't move. I'm like,
Yeah.
huh, maybe that's
true.
nothing.
They shrunk down the numbers recently, though. I want to say, right? Like they like made it so like
I have no idea.
I think they made it so like numbers aren't as like giga big as they used to be. So to make it a little more reasonable, like you don't do like 10 billion damage and you're just like, oh, he just kind of shrugged off 10 billion damage.
Yeah, I think that's important to like kind of keep the numbers like meaningful.
But I understand with like retail WoW because they're always adding 10 levels to the thing. It's like, well, we can only increase. It feels weird to suddenly decrease
They
things.
should leave the
Yeah.
past in the past. I also think League of Legends should do this. I think everyone, like League of Legends now, I tried to get my housemates to play it. They don't know what's going on. And it's really hard for me to explain to them, like, what's what. Like,
League
some
is
guy picks Skarner,
definitely
who's
rough
like a
to pick
scorpion
up.
in League of Legends. And for some reason, when you pick the scorpion character, spires spawn on the map. And you have to capture these spires. And then my friends are like, oh, like, that's just part of the map. I'm like, no, this is only on the map because this one specific character is in the game. And they're like, oh. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't really make sense. But it's in the game.
Yeah,
So,
it's so hard to get new players into League because it's like there's so many champions. Every champion has 4 abilities and a passive. The newer champion's passive alone does 10 different things. Their ulti does 10 different things compared to older champions where it's like, oh yeah, Annie's abilities now, like you charge, was it 4 of them, 3 of them? You can stun the next. It was like super simple. Now you have Aphelios whose guns do like several different things at the same time, and then Akshan like revives people, whatnot, and then it's just a lot. It's like not even just a game of objectives anymore.
they have to cut it in half.
Yeah,
I think
it's,
I think
it's,
that the one
it's
trick
hard.
just have
Yeah,
to suck
just
it up.
delete existing
Just
characters.
Yeah.
remove 50 characters. Like it would be like if soccer just always evolved. And it's like, well, yeah, you play soccer with the regular balls, but now there's the golden snitch ball.
I do
And this is
think-
where
no,
10,
I agree,
but
like,
you can only headbutt this one. And then, like, if you hit it in, like, earthquakes happen and it ruptures the ground. And now there's mountains you have to play. It's like, there's, like, way
no,
too many things
no,
now.
I completely agree with this. My biggest fear with Valorant is it's gonna have too many agents, and I think the game is like fine. I think they should shift their focus instead of making new agents, make new maps. Like
Yeah.
more maps, cool. Like the game has like a lot of variants. Is that a word? I don't know. But then if you keep adding agents, you lose the essence of the gameplay, and it just becomes
Like
clusterfuck.
Overwatch is a good example. Like when you're a spectator and you're watching Overwatch, there's so many things happening that you're just
Yeah.
like, I don't get what's happening. Because they added Harbor and they added Gecko, which are super fun. I think they're really cool for the game. But like if you watch like VCT matches, like there's like Poseidon is like fighting Ash Ketchum like level 99, and there's
That's
stuff
true.
everywhere all over. Like you have no idea what's happening. It's just like there's too much. Like there needs to be less clutter, and it just needs to be like a gun-oriented game.
I also don't mind if the characters essentially do the same things, same abilities, but just have like a different character design for it. Like I don't care if there's like another character with the exact same util as Sova, but it's like a girl. Like I'm down for that, or like a different character.
You just want more girl Silva.
Yeah,
fan art.
I do.
Yeah.
But
More
like,
They
gender
should
bent
have,
fan art.
since the models are all the same, they should actually have skins where you can buy the guy and the girl version
that
of
would
every
be
character.
nice too.
I think
That
like hella
be
people would
nice
like
I
that.
just don't think they'll ever do that, just because
Yeah,
so
they
much
won't.
visual information that you need to know
Yeah.
on the fly. Like
Yeah.
like you could tell the difference between characters based off their silhouettes. So
True.
like if you like, oh shit, is that male Silva or female Gecko? I don't know. Let's go. Yeah, I think that's not gonna
True.
happen. I also think they're gonna release like 3 agents a year.
The
I think we're-
worst thing,
yeah.
and I know what they're gonna do, and it's gonna make the releasing 3 agents a year worse. Is like they're gonna release a champion that copies other champions, because that always happens
It
in
does
every
always
game. There's
happen.
one wizard-esque character with like a robe or something, and he steals abilities.
Oh my god, like Viego should have never been made.
Like Viego, Rubric,
Rubric.
Silas, Rubric.
Oh, Rubik
Rubik
from Dota.
From Dota.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, no, there tends to be. I mean, especially from League to Dota, because like League was heavily inspired by Dota. There's a lot of fucking crossover, like Ashe versus Drow Ranger from
Yeah.
Dota, things like that.
Well, what I'm interested in is like compared to like League of Legends, they've had all these different characters and whatnot, but with Valorant, like you can't have like a fat character
Right.
because
Oh.
of just, like,
Hitboxes.
yeah, hitboxes. So once they start adding in all these characters, like everybody's literally like the same height and weight.
Damn, you just made me
Same
realize how
build.
fat phobic Valorant is. That's fucked up.
They
You
should
know?
just make all the characters fat.
Yeah.
No,
There-
they could be like Apex Legends.
Dude.
which-
Yeah.
So Apex Legends, something that really bothers me is characters are different heights,
Mm-hmm.
and so when you play like the
They all have
shortest
different
character, your
hitboxes.
POV is short, and if you play the tallest character, you're tall. So
Wait, I
Pathfinder,
actually didn't know POV made a
yeah, so
difference.
Pathfinder
Oh,
you're like
wow.
way higher, and Lifeline
Mhm.
you're like way shorter,
Oh my god.
and all the character models have different hitboxes, and like
Yeah,
for the
that
longest,
one I
like they're
knew.
still balancing it to this day. But I'm down that Valorant makes a character that's twice as big as all the other characters, but he has twice as much health, and he has a hook, and he can hook someone and eat them, and
Are
he
we
gets
talking
health
about
back.
Roadhog here from
Roadhog?
Overwatch?
I was thinking Pudge from Dota.
Oh,
But
yeah,
yeah,
I never
he's kind of
played
like
Dota.
based off Pudge.
Oh yeah.
I definitely think there's going to be like a hook skill shot character in Valorant at some point, which is
Oh
going to
my
be
God,
awful. But
like-
I think it'll happen. Like it'll, yeah. I think it'll be like their ult, and then it'll go through walls or some shit and like pull them in or something, or you pull yourself toward them, some
How
bullshit like
terrifying
that.
would that be? Is like somebody hits a Sova dart, you see them, and then you just throw.
You just
hook
see a
through
giant
wall,
hook. Oh yeah,
oh
like
my god.
we just
Yeah,
like
just through a
Urgot
wall.
ult now, I guess.
just
you know?
chain you to the wall.
Yeah,
Yeah, if Urgot was in Valorant, that'd be so sick.
yeah. Your limbs
feel like
shoot
at
He has like
that
shotguns in every
point-
shorties. If you're
direction.
close to him, he just
You
shorties
really
all
lose the
360
essence.
rounds.
Yeah, shorties built into his elbows and
no,
shit.
I
Yeah.
feel like at that point you lose the essence that it's attacked FPS, and at that point it's just smite.
No,
Yeah, I'm down.
but I do think that there is a real fear that Valorant will go in the direction of
No,
losing that tack
yes,
FPS feeling. And then they're
yes.
gonna have that. Hold on, guys. We need to fucking chill the
Chill.
fuck out. you know?
I think there'll be a time because like when we play like CS:GO, I'm gonna anger a lot of people here. The CS:GO frogs get all mad and they're like, "This is a masculine game, blah blah blah. Valorant's for children. I like this is a baby game, blah." Blah. there will be a time when like, I do think Valorant will have too many things where I'm kind of like, oh yeah, this is like
This
Too
is
this needs to be
much.
more like Counter-Strike than Valorant.
That's kind of what happened with League of Legends for me personally. I felt
Yeah.
like once they started making these really intricate, elaborate, fancy champions that do like 50 things, I feel like it really lost the essence of the gameplay, and then it just became like, I mean, isn't that kind of what happened to Fortnite? Like what people added like rockets and robots and
Well, they took out building in Fortnite. Well, not like all Fortnite, but
They have
there's
a
now
no build
building
mode
that's
and,
really
like,
popular.
I know Michael,
Yeah.
Michael and Lily play all the time.
Yeah.
wow, I
Like, you want to
actually
play?
didn't
I'm
know
like, no.
that.
I'm over Fortnite. I had a phase. I loved Fortnite, and then like some 8-year-old like built a Thanos wall on me, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, it's too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, the skill floor for that game shot up like fucking crazy when building
building.
was introduced, and I was like, I can't keep up with the young kids, man. That was the game that made me feel the most boomer. I was
Yeah,
like, is this
I
like the
agree.
average skill of a child? Like they are better architects than like actual real life architects. Like what
Well, I
the fuck
think
is
it
this?
helps. It helps that they
crazy.
came from Minecraft, because I think like because you start with Minecraft, you like see the world as like blocks, and in Fortnite you kind of see the world as like blocks.
Oh, I've never thought of that.
I'm just making excuses why like the kids are better than me. But like I don't know why they're actually better than me.
No,
but they
I-
they seems like they see the game. Like they're like
They see the game differently.
yeah, they're building like the Eiffel Tower, and I'm
Dude,
building like a 2x2.
I
and I'm
just
like,
remember like learning how to build. It was like everyone did the same. Like it was like floor, ramp,
Yeah,
wall,
wall.
floor, ramp, wall, and then like when you're fighting someone, you edit a window in the wall. You fight, you edit it back to
and then
be
you
a
like pump
wall.
shotgun. You're
Yeah,
switching
and then
between
you
your
just
shotguns.
oh my god.
Yeah, their crosshairs always doing like semicircles and shit
Yes.
for some reason. Like I'm like having a
Dude.
seizure watching them play.
I think Fortnite was the one game where I like, cause I get pretty competitive with games and I like getting good at games. I think Fortnite was the one game where I was like, yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna
I
attempt
just don't like
this.
process it the same way that they are processing
It's just too much. It's actually too much.
Yeah, no build Fortnite was probably the most fun I've had with Fortnite in
Same,
years,
same,
and
same.
it was a good
Agreed.
time for a little bit.
I am jealous of like the reach Fortnite has in terms of like every time I log in Fortnite, I'm like so impressed with like what
Oh, the
collabs they're doing,
collaborations?
what skins they
Yeah.
have. I'm just
It
like,
is
man, I wish
crazy.
like
You know who logs on all the time and buys every single new skin?
good job,
I think Peter has every single collaborative
the
skin
fuck
in
is
every
talking right now?
game ever.
Not really. I have okay,
You're like
I
every
have
game's
not
favorite
logged in-
customer.
bro. I don't. God damn. I've
Peter's a collector.
fuck.
Do
You are
ever,
a collector.
You ever think about your inventory, your gaming accounts could sell for a lot in the future, probably.
Yeah, but I'm never gonna give him my fucking email and password.
Oh, what if you're like,
If I could like unlink my email and give him a different email, I would consider it.
would you give your gaming account to your kid?
Yes, definitely.
That'd
As
be
long as
a
they don't
nice gift,
delete
no?
content.
Your parents would have such OG skins.
Do you guys ever think that like your kids just will hate video games?
Then I won't
No.
have children retroactively. I will force my wife to reabsorb them into the womb if they don't like fucking
You know
video
how like
games.
you try and you know like your parents try and make you like play piano or like play soccer or like do like stuff, but then you're not really into it. That's like not your thing. I wonder if that's because like my best friend growing up, I tried really hard to get him into like video games, but he just like wasn't into it.
Wow.
He was just like was really into baseball for some reason.
Dude, I'm gonna play the Kingdom Hearts soundtrack against my pregnant wife's belly as like, she's
That's their theme song.
yeah. I'm like, you better fucking love this game series that I never actually finished.
They're gonna play the game later, and they're gonna be like, "Why does this feel so nostalgic? But I've never heard this before."
It's almost like I was destined to play this game. It's like, yes, you were. You really were. But nothing past Kingdom Hearts 2. You could stop there.
Yeah. To be fair, that's like the most convoluted storyline ever.
The
Kingdom
amount
Hearts?
of times
It's
I've
so
like rewatched the
confusing.
lore video is a lot, and I'm just like, dude, this shit. Like, I have someone literally explaining to me what's happening. I still have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. Crazy.
It could be its own like college major. It's like so in depth and confusing and like
It is
convoluted,
pretty confusing.
and you have to play it on like so many different systems. You have to play it on like PlayStation,
Mobile,
the
DS,
Game Boy SP.
PSP.
Oh, yeah,
Like
Kingdom
it is
Hearts
across
had,
so many
like,
different games.
They had like so many games that launched for like very specific devices
Yes.
and
Yeah.
only those consoles.
And they all matter. Like they're all
Yeah, they
actually
all matter.
connected.
The 3.5 and the
Yeah.
3 matter, and the 2.5 and the
Yeah.
1.5.
They did release, I think, like either a PS3 or PS4 collection that either had the games on other consoles or like had like some kind of thing that
PS4.
explained.
I
to
think
you
it's
what
the
happened.
PS4 one. I think
Yeah.
I bought that.
But then like
actually.
it was like some of the games they wouldn't it's not a game. You just are watching slideshows telling you the lore of the game because they don't want
Oh.
to. How are you supposed to translate fucking Nintendo DS controls to like a PS4? You know,
True.
so
True.
yeah, that is a game series that
Which
I
one
love.
was that one? It was like 352.
Yes, that one.
Days.
Days
I think
remaining
there's
or
like
something.
recoded
Yeah.
as well, some shit like that. Fuck it. That game was like perfect for its time and has I don't know.
I feel like it didn't age. It's not like it didn't age well. It's just like it was so cool. Like Utada Hikaru was cool. The graphics were cool. It's like the first time Final Fantasy characters are like with Disney crossover. It was cool.
It was really romantic.
Yes.
It was
Yeah.
really. It was like the level of romance. Not that it was like romancy. Sorry, when I use the word romantic, I mean like kind of like fantastical more so.
Mhm.
It was like a good amount of romance and fantasy where like a kid didn't feel like a kid could get into it.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, and I think that was like the real magical feeling it was giving to everyone. I never played Kingdom Hearts because my parents didn't let me own a PS2, but I kid you not, I love the soundtrack, I love the story, I love the characters so much. I would like YouTube videos, I would like read about Kingdom Hearts 2. I would go to GameStop, buy like a Kingdom Hearts those guidebooks and I'd read it and it felt like I was
Oh my
playing the
God,
game.
Guidebooks.
I know,
Yeah.
but I never got to play the game. But I knew so much about Kingdom Hearts and the characters only because I was so interested in the entire franchise.
For what it's worth, I still think Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 are very playable today.
Wow.
Because
Yeah.
every now and then I will like go back and play specifically 1 and 2. And I don't know if it like holds up, but I'm still having fun playing it. I'm not like fighting the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would maybe try it out, honestly.
No, I used to beg my cousin owned a PS2 and I'd beg him to play and I'd just sit there and watch him play.
Yeah.
Because I enjoyed watching the gameplay so much, but I never got to play it myself.
Dude, fighting Sephiroth for the first time in
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 1 was by far one of like my pivotal just like gaming memories.
Oh, is it like
Just-
a moment you're like, wow, I succeeded that?
Yes,
because
because that fight was so fucking hard for like 12-year-old me, and then after a while I started like destroying him. But then like
Yeah. Eventually, you outscale him.
yeah.
But it's like I think when Cloud walks onto the screen for the first time, I like screamed as like a kid.
Dude, it was so cool.
Cloud is like my favorite like idol video game character ever, and I'm
Yeah,
like playing
he's
Final
pretty
Fantasy. I'm just
cool.
playing Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, I know he's gonna come up sometime, and he like walks in the gladiator arena. He is like for some reason he's like with Hercules, like that world.
Yeah, because
He
he's
comes
like
in?
he's working for Hades as
Yeah.
like his dude, and then like all that shit happens. And what's so cool is they combined Cloud's design with Vincent Valentine from Final
Yeah,
Fantasy
so he has
VII.
like a scarf. He has like the cool scarf. He
The
just looks
scar-
cool.
yeah, and the metal gauntlet, and I was just like, those are like my two favorite, like in terms of aesthetics,
Vincent
characters.
Valentine was probably one of my first like crushes.
Dude, and
Yeah,
they
he's cool.
used the design. He had the wing, and I was like, that's so fucking cool.
He's like the one character that joins your party, and you're like, wait, this guy might be cooler than Cloud.
Yeah.
Like this guy's got like Riz.
I will say I remember his limit break was very lame in my opinion. Oh, he like transforms into different horror characters.
Yeah.
I think
Horror characters?
yeah, there's like one where like he turns into like a like Freddy or like Jason with like a chainsaw and like other monsters.
I have
Like that
no
was like his
idea.
gimmick if I remember correctly. But like
It would have been better if they just gave him like Omni Slash, but instead of like slashing, he shoots you.
yeah,
Like
which
a
is like
fast
kind
gun.
of like what they did with the standalone game sort of.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy X were games that made me like the romance genre.
Is 10 the one with Titus
Yes.
and Yuna?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. My cousin also played that one. I begged him to
That one
play
had a
because
lot
I
of
loved
romance.
watching.
Yes.
Yeah.
It made me like very like in touch with my romantic side.
No,
for
it
sure.
made you like romance.
Yeah.
Like as a kid, like I never was into romance until Kingdom Hearts and like Final Fantasy X. Just like that entire franchise. I don't know how they did it, but it really makes you enjoy romance, or that it's not like cooties, or it's not like
Right.
silly. It's not like too old for you. It's got like meaning to it.
Like I fucking
They would
cried.
also like die for each other. It's
Yeah,
like that
they
kind of
do.
romance.
Yeah.
It's like the whole world is ending, and it's like I'll die so I can save you, and then they sacrifice themselves, and then like something happens. And
Yeah.
It's like that kind of romance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first Kingdom Hearts was the first game to make me cry, because at the very end, when Sora's like etching, or like no, sorry, Kairi is etching the Paupu fruit
Oh, I remember.
onto the wall. Like she sees like that Sora like drew
Drew
it.
something.
Yeah, and then she's like drawing it back after they're separated again at the end. I was just like, oh, just like ugly sobbing, dude. That shit was amazing with like Utada Hikaru
Yeah,
music
yeah.
just like playing in the
Yeah.
background. Oh my god, that shit was.
It's
amazing.
epic. It's actually so epic.
I would actually play it. I think you should stream yourself playing it.
I gave it a shot. So I bought the PS4 pack, that pack you were talking about, and I was playing the first one, and I really liked it. And then I got to the Aladdin level. Dude, my least favorite thing about video games is that there always has to be a spider in it. At the Aladdin level, the clay pots, the vases turn into like spider-like things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I couldn't play after that. I was like, this is actually triggering my arachnophobia, and I can't play this game anymore.
That is fair. Those dudes are fucking annoying
It
too.
would pop out of nowhere and start crawling around, and I'm like, I can't do this. I know like the graphics are kiddish, but it still like triggers that fear inside of me.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So like arachnophobia is like your fear of spiders. Okay.
Yes.
So I don't know like what I'm deeply afraid of, but like would you be less afraid of a spider if it was like could talk and it like spoke English?
You mean in like real life?
Well, I
Like-
mean like in a game, does it help if the spider can like talk? And it's like a gentleman?
Yeah, I guess if it's like, what's the word, like human? It's like
Humanoid?
humanified,
Oh, personified.
personified. Thank you.
So let's give it a human voice, and I give it a top hat and a monocle, and like it's still a spider, but
yeah,
like
yeah. I would like it a lot more if it had a monocle and a
so I think we
top
should add
hat.
that to video games because I don't think anyone ever likes spiders in video games. Like I'm not afraid of spiders, but when I see a spider in a video game, I'm like, I have to kill you now for experience.
Dude,
don't
every
really like
video
it, though.
game has just a spider.
Every
level.
RPG has like a spider area or
PoE,
level.
Diablo, which I gave a recent shot at, like, oh
To be
my God,
fair,
the spiders.
More games are coming out with an arachnophobia mode.
I know, which I'm really grateful for, but I just
I don't think anyone likes spiders.
I think I'm all right with them.
But like, would you like it more if there were no spiders? Or
I-
perhaps
Yeah.
a spider with a monocle
I'm
and spoke
actually.
English?
I would prefer less spiders, more just because they're kind of cliche and boring. If
That's
that
how
makes
I
sense.
feel.
They're
Oh,
like
that's
not.
good.
They're just not that interesting of an enemy type to me. It's not that I'm like scared of them. Like when I play Monster Hunter, like that's the only situation where I like spider bosses because they're so different from the other bosses. Like yeah, I don't have like an innate fear of like most insects. I would say I don't like things that
insects.
flutter and like get in your face though.
Yeah, I don't like
Fuck
that
that.
either. No, I get that insects are so easy to villainize because they're like creepy, crawly, whatever. But I just don't like them. I rather fight a blob than a bug.
I think most people would rather fight a blob than a bug. Blobs
Okay.
are fairly
Okay.
harmless, I think.
I'm glad I'm not. It's not a weird.
Okay, what
opinion.
if it's a blob but it's like made out of human flesh?
That would gross me out, but I'd rather fight that than a spider.
Really? And then like you could kind of make out the different humans that it absorbed. Like imagine if like this blob.
I mean, I feel like
absorbed
you
me
see
and
stuff like
Sean.
that in anime a lot.
Maybe,
That
but like,
kind of feels like Attack on Titan.
would you be able to fight this blob if you see like Sean's face like stretched across the side of it and
I mean-
mine like somewhere like?
I mean, it would look.
We're the same blob, or we're
Yeah,
two
we're part of the
separate
same. This
blobs?
blob absorbed both of us, and then like is able to like work our mouth like if we're talking. It's like
I mean, it would look villainous enough.
That's
that you
different
can
though.
fight.
If we can tell Celine jokes, I think she wouldn't kill us.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
if we
that's
can only
true.
say our own name, like Pokemon, like Ditto,
That would be so creepy.
that would be just
That would
end
be
us.
not-
we have to
would
find
be
out a way
so
where we could
creepy.
absorb, like we could trick Selene and absorb her and be part of us.
If I couldn't
No.
execute humor in any way, I would just want you to like just farm us for XP. Just like don't even worry about. Don't worry about saving us. We're too far
No.
gone.
No, dude, fuck. Imagine if we just like are not funny anymore after we get absorbed. That's like the worst like fate that I could think of.
I feel like everyone else we absorb would also lose their humor. We'd just be like a really boring entity that moves around.
Have you ever seen The Thing?
Either
Either one. There's like
yes,
the old one and new
I
one.
saw the
Thing.
new
What's
one.
the
Yeah, so the
Thing?
new one they
You would hate it.
absorb.
Why?
Because there's like arachnid
Ish.
features.
Yeah,
Basically,
'cause
it- yeah.
It
It's
ba-
an alien that was encased in ice that it's
Okay.
unearthed, and it has the ability to kill and absorb things and mimic those things. But like in its alien form, it like has like
yeah, kinda
appendages
like scurries
and yeah.
and
like
has
a-
the people's faces on it.
That's
Yeah,
like
like
a Chow in Sonic Adventure.
like imagine a head. Imagine a
Chows are
head with
so
like
cute.
arms and
But you
legs.
can make them ugly.
Yeah.
You can?
You just like give them an ugly animal and they eat it and then they get the ugly animal trait.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Damn. Now that you phrase it in that way, chows are horrifying.
Yeah, you just give them live animals and then they like eat them
I didn't know
alive
that.
and they get like tiger hands.
Also, the reason why I randomly laughed was because I was thinking because I have a big fear of spiders, naturally I like my boyfriends to be able to kill spiders.
Uh huh.
One of my turnoffs is when a guy can't kill a spider, and so I laughed because I was like, yeah, that's very real for me.
Wait, so they can't kill it? Is it off of morality, or are they just not quick
Because
enough?
they're afraid,
Oh, okay.
and if they're more afraid than I am,
They're useless.
they're useless. It's like having a guy who can't open a jar for me. Like I can't.
Yeah, how
do it.
lame.
Yeah.
You can open a jar.
I can open every
Pathetic.
jar.
Pathetic.
We don't have that problem, right, Sean?
I also don't have
Or
emotions.
guy or girl, I guess.
Just make sure I haven't used lotion.
Did you see that kind of toxic Twitter thread?
What?
It was like turnoffs for.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that on TikTok.
Yeah, it was like.
But it was a girl saying.
Yeah, like so there was, I think it was either a Twitter thread or a TikTok trend where like they essentially would talk about their icks for men.
Yeah.
And some of the icks would be like pretty reasonable, but some of them would be like, oh, if he shows fear during a car crash. It's just like, yeah, it's just like,
What a pussy.
yeah, it's like they were like trying to explain like, oh yeah, like I want them to feel like they're in control at all times, and like if they're scared, then
But-
like I can't
God, a
rely
car
on them to
crash is
protect
Isn't
me.
the
Horrifying
whole thing with a
situation.
car crash is that you're out of control?
Yeah. So it's just that's the thing. Like some of these TikToks had this trend where it was just like, wait, your ick was them like being fearful in a situation where they may die.
Wait, some are hella funny though. One
Yeah.
is like a girl. She's like, you know what my greatest ick is? It's like one time I was at a club and this guy drops his glasses on the ground and he told everyone around him like, everyone stop. I dropped my glasses. And then he has to like bend down to get his glasses.
Wait, I would think that's funny.
No, but then the guy who's like watching TikTok gets hella sad and he like adds to his list of like icks from girls and he's like, not being able to see is like is like the ick.
Oh no. Yeah.
What are your other icks?
Mine?
Yeah,
Wait,
I'm
what
curious.
do you? What if
I don't know.
the guy has to be able to kill? It's just a fear thing. What if like he's not afraid
Okay,
of the spider?
I said it's an ick, but like I don't think it would be or
It's okay to be honest.
yes, I'll be honest. I don't think it would be as far as like a I don't like you anymore kind of thing. It would just be like, man, like that's like something I need from you, man.
my reservations.
Icks. I can't think of.
I mean, I know for a fact that if you play games with them and they exhibit less than good gameplay skills,
Okay,
it is a turnoff.
okay, I will not lie. So this one time, okay, when a guy's not good at Valorant for some reason, I don't mind. So Valorant gameplay, I don't know why. I think I don't mind at all that they're bad. League of Legends for some reason, when a guy's bad at League, it looks really pathetic to me. And so I think if for me personally with League, if you're not good, yeah, I probably won't ask him to play ever because that one, I don't know why, it's just League of Legends. That one is legitimately a turnoff to me. Valorant, I'm fine with. Other competitive games, I'm fine with, like Apex, Valorant, whatever. For some reason, with League, I do get a bit
You gotta
more.
be faker, bro.
I do get a bit more. Like, I'm like, huh.
Wait, have you ever had like a crush on a guy and then you got into a lobby with him and then he was just like fucking dog shit and then you were just like,
No.
you know, I'm good. Really?
I
Never.
haven't.
Not even for League?
No. But I think it's because usually when I like the guy, they're already like.
It's
pretty
because they're good.
good at the game.
Got it.
I have though,
Like
like
the inverse ick.
I have though, like, I was like talking to a guy, and then we played League together, and then I was like, yeah, I don't see him in like a
Romantic
in
way.
a romantic way.
He's more like a blob. And like, he's less like a human. He's more like an NPC blob. Like a level 2. Like, oh, like sorry, we just.
Dude, but it's so weird because it's just League. I've played with guys in like Valorant like plenty worse than me, and I just laugh it off. I think it's funny. For some reason,
No,
League,
hell
it's
no.
not
I definitely
funny.
have seen some fucking clips,
Oh,
man.
okay.
I've seen some
Okay,
clips.
that's
Bro, okay. I feel like amongst our friends, we are pretty understanding when we fuck up. And we
Yeah.
won't like brag on the other people.
Yeah.
Selena is one of the first people I've ever met, like to a friend will be like, uninstall. Do not play the game ever again.
Wow, you're toxic.
Uninstall the
okay,
delete
that's
the game from your
different.
hard drive.
That's different because Aiden is normally really,
Wow,
really
you
good.
said his name. Damn.
There's only one moment I did that, okay? And he's normally really, really good, but he just like did the most like bronze play ever. And I was so confused. I was embarrassed for us. I was embarrassed for the enemy team. Like, we're in an immortal radiant lobby, and he's just like so lost. I was like, dude, like, you play this game, how do you pull that off? And oh my god, I was so embarrassed.
Poor Aiden.
I think that was the first time I pulled an FF vote.
Guess
Wow.
there are blobs in Valorant as well.
And his name is Aiden.
But there's a lot of Aidens. It could be anyone.
NRG Aiden. Sorry.
There's only one of those.
Okay,
I'm trying to save you,
I've
Aiden.
only been really toxic to 3 guys in their moments, so that's.
I know one of them's Abe.
Wait, that one's pretty valid.
Bro,
though.
oh
That
my-
one's
I
funny,
saw
though.
the
Have you seen
clip. And
No.
it's amazing. So it was for Toast. Oh, you know what? You tell the story.
No.
No, you have to tell it. It's better from your
No!
perspective.
Are you guys on the same team?
No,
with
I just watched the
Yes,
clip.
It's me,
Oh, her- yeah.
Jody, and Abe. It was the hide and seek Apex tournament. Oh my god, dude. Okay, so there's like hide and seek, right? We can't like shoot, we can't do anything. The purpose is to hide.
Yeah.
Abe sees like these 2 pipes on the ceiling, and he's playing Loba as he always does, and he thinks he can hide there. And instead of tossing the ring like over it, he tosses his cue like at it.
Mhm.
And I was just like,
So like okay. So there are 2 pipes running parallel.
Yeah.
And there's like the tiniest little
no,
crack.
there is like no gap.
No,
like,
it's basically non-existent.
Yeah, 'cause
but
they
that
know
is
the
what
hitbox
Abe
in the
is trying
game.
to aim for, and he's just like, he's trying to light it up, and then Celine, like people are commenting to Abe. Celine's like, Abe, I don't think that's gonna fit. Like, I think you should throw it from the side. And Abe is like not saying shit, right? He's like completely in the zone, and then you just see him chuck his fucking utility. It hits the pole and bounces back onto the ground, and then Celine just goes, Abe, are you stupid? Like that, in like the most banshee scream I've ever heard in my life. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And then Abe,
Oh
of
my
course,
God.
goes, "Stop yelling at me!"
Yeah. He's stressed.
Okay, but like it looked like he was trying to fit a fucking frisbee through like a
It was
pencil sharpener
impossible.
hole.
Like, you know, when you like see a video game environment, you kind of understand the hitboxes, what you're like
Yeah.
allowed to go on.
Also,
like,
sometimes hitbox like doesn't line up. So you
Listen,
would just go
Sean,
from the
his
side.
crosshair was thicker than the gap
yeah,
between
like,
the
it
pipes.
was like the object, his stupid Q ability ring is bigger than the gap.
Yeah.
It was impossible.
I'm starting to think that the game does matter. It's not just League.
No,
I'm starting to think like.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
League.
starting to get that as
Okay.
well, a little bit.
no, it's just League. It's just League. It's
I do
just
think
League.
that sometimes like I don't say anything, but I'll see like a play happen in the game. And I just think like,
Like,
huh. I'm like so curious. Like this is me being super brutally honest. I like sometimes think like, oh, I wonder what their SAT score was. Based
No,
off of, like,
it's true.
no,
you,
like I'm not gonna
I-
say it out loud, but in my mind, kind of like,
dude, it's like when
huh?
yes, it's when somebody says like 2 + 2, and then it's not 4, and it becomes like 10, and then you're just like,
how did you get to that
how'd you get to
conclusion?
that conclusion? That's kind of what I
Yeah, show
think
me your
of.
work.
Yeah.
Show the work. I think there's a lot of like,
Yes, I agree. When like even when I watch gold players and like Valorant or whatever, I understand why they did what, even if it's not right. But when I see like a really high elo player just do something that's not
Just
even
defies
like
comprehension.
yeah, like it wasn't even the right process. Like I'm just like it baffles me. I can't understand it.
Nice.
it's also different if they're like flustered or panicked. Like if
Yeah.
you're flustered or panicked, it's fine.
Yeah,
like you
I
can,
find
you-
that funny.
Sometimes you do iron plays. If you're like super overwhelmed, but if Abe is like, no, okay, no, I
The
don't mean to say
slow
his name.
dumb play
But
as
if
opposed
he's,
to the
if
fast
he's like
dumb play.
watching it and everyone is kind of like calming, like, hey, maybe try this. Maybe this could work, you know?
Yeah.
But I do one of my favorite things about Abe is stubbornness.
I do agree with that. It's a very charming part. In a very
charming is the word we're using.
A charming in a very
I would say Abe charms me very
frustrating.
often. But it's because he makes me laugh in like a lot of things he does and decides to do.
Yeah, it's character.
I like at the end of the day, I chalk it up to I know Abe is trying to go for a very memorable moment.
Yeah.
And it is in fact very memorable.
I never forget.
Yeah, you will never.
I don't need to write it
never
down.
forget that Apex clip of you and Abe ever.
Dude.
Like I will be in my dying day, like in my bed, just like fucking shriveling away, and I'll just like think about like, Abe, are you stupid? Yeah, so it'll be great.
Like my most popular memorable moments are when I'm toxic apparently, but I have those like once a year. Actually once a year. Okay, well all three of those kind of happened in like months apart, but like still like I don't have that many. It's only 3 moments. The Abe one, the Aiden uninstall one, and then I called more bronze in Valorant too. And it was, yeah.
I
on
was
Timmy's
wondering if
stream.
we're gonna hit all 3 names, and we did.
Why not, dude? It's on the internet. I don't care. I don't mind.
All right, let's go a more positive route now. As
Yeah.
opposed to icks, what are you? Wait, what would they? Is it yums? Like what is
Like
what is
turn-ons?
what is
I don't
yeah
know.
yeah turn
Closest
on?
thing is like a turn on. But I feel like we should have a shorter name for that. That's like so long.
Axe.
Axe?
Axe?
Icks and axe.
No.
Axe and
That-
Oh, like this, like a sound ack.
Yeah.
Ack sounds like
An
a
ack.
Yeah,
sounds
it
like a
still
different
sounds
way of
bad.
saying ick. Yeah. I said yum because I was thinking like when I think of
Yummy.
ick, I think of like food
Ooh,
sometimes.
yummy. Yeah.
Ick.
But like yum also sounds weird, like
I
in, a,
kinda-
Yeah,
I
it
in like a
sounds-
sexual way.
It sounds strange.
Well, not in like a sexual way, but
Okay,
I
maybe
think
not a
like
sexual
I
way.
think like lick because I think like devious because I think
So
like
less sexual.
I think like not to make it sexual. I think of like
But you
devious
did.
lick.
Oh, what isn't it a devious lick when you steal shit?
Oh,
the heck is
I
a
thought
devious
What's
lick?
the
That-
opposite of devious lick?
I'm
when, like,
pretty
you do
sure
something good?
the TikTok trend of a devious lick is when like people would record themselves stealing shit.
What the heck is a devious lick?
I thought a lick is like to punch someone.
It's both.
I didn't know that.
I know like taking a licking is like when you get beat like you get beaten, so that makes
Taking
sense.
a licking?
Right? That's a phrase, right?
That sounds so sexual. That guy was taking a licking from multiple guys. Like what? That just sounds like a porno waiting to happen.
Oh, you're not wrong.
That sounds wrong.
Well,
Turn-ons.
Turn ons.
yeah, turn-ons. We'll just stick with turn-ons. I mean, so being good at video games. Is there like, do you care about physicality at all?
I do. I didn't before, but I do these days.
Is it since we went to Turkey? I think it's since we went to Turkey. I swear, we went to Turkey. We were sitting in like a cafe, like a restaurant, and apparently the 2 hottest men that have ever existed on this planet of Earth walked by because we were mid-conversation and everyone just stopped talking. And I was like, what did Thanos just snap and everyone's like mid-dust? Like, what the fuck is going on? And apparently it's because 2 like Turkish model-looking dudes just walked by, and Celine's jaw dropped. It was
My
crazy.
jaw did drop. We all paused. We were like, like what? It was just because, dude, they were gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like it was like humanly unfathomable of a gorgeousness scale, and they just walked by,
But
like
a
vampires
too-
in broad daylight.
But like a good gorgeous, right?
yeah, like an
'Cause
insane
sometimes
gorgeous.
it can be like too much, and then it's like
Like they should have been in Twilight.
Yeah, like, they should have been in
Not the current
Twilight.
vampires that were in Twilight.
I don't even know who the current vampires in Twilight are, but yeah, they
That-
were. They
that
should
one
have been in
dude.
Twilight.
That one dude.
That one guy.
They should have been in Twilight. They were gorgeous.
What did you think, Peter?
I only saw the back of their heads, but then I was thinking like,
You didn't
damn,
notice,
that's a
like-
pretty hot back of this dude's head.
You didn't notice like the clouds opening up or like holy light coming
I
down?
will say that the sun seemed to be like beaming on top of them
yeah,
specifically.
Yeah, it was.
So kind of like a brimstone ult as it's about to go off. Like it was like at the about to go off phase.
It was like
but
a
following
painting.
them.
Like there was a
Picasso.
break in the clouds of sunlight, and they just waltzed by.
Like they started like they were so good looking that they started describing them in like a poetic way. Like I've never seen a man so beautiful that they
No,
would make my jaw drop, the drool come forth like a spring. Like they just like waxed poetic in the description of these men. And to be fair, the average Turkish guy was like so fucking handsome. Like in
Yeah, they
Turkey,
were.
they were like so charming and handsome. Like
That's true.
I felt very emasculated while I was there, if I'm being honest. So, because like I think Tarek is a very good looking guy, but Tarek was like the average handsomeness in Turkey. Like everyone was at least as handsome as Tarek in Turkey, and I was like, that is not fucking fair whatsoever. Okay, it was either Tarek's handsomeness or higher, or you were just like an older Turkish gentleman who like you still retained your handsomeness, but you're just like in your
Weathered.
50s now. Yeah. They probably weren't wearing sunscreen. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Ever since then, I feel like Celine has cared way more about like 3D men.
3D.
Because before that, she only cared about like
no, it's true.
fictional characters.
I only like fictional characters. I only like 2D men. It's so hard for me to like a real human being.
But it's probably because you compare them to these 2D men.
Yeah, probably.
Like, how can a real person compare
It's
to?
true.
Until Turkey.
It's true.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, it's true. I definitely like 2D men way more than, because the way I feel towards like a lot of anime guys,
They could all kill spiders.
they could, and like I praise them so much more. I don't know. It's so different. I don't know. Okay, well, let's change the topic. Turn-ons. Yeah, you can start.
No, I mean like physicality earlier. You're talking about forearms.
Oh, nice forums are definitely up.
Is that like
Is that
what was
your
like the first thing you
favorite?
notice?
On a guy?
Yeah, when you meet them in person.
Wait, can I ask
The
a
way they dress.
follow-up question?
Yeah.
What is
And the
like
way
your
they smell.
favorite like muscle group for a guy to work out?
Shoulders and legs.
Legs.
Yeah, I like a guy who with like broad shoulders and then like soccer legs.
Like thick thighs, thick muscular
Yeah.
thighs.
I don't know. I like guys with like broad shoulders and nice legs.
So like football players.
Yeah.
I don't know what a football player looks like.
Broad shoulders and thick thighs.
Yeah.
Well, they also are like tanks. Like.
Well, no,
they-
yeah, they're more like they're like just built
You're
in
talking about
general.
American football, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think like basketball, I don't think you generally
Yeah,
want as stocky of a build unless you have
Yeah.
like a specific
you're,
role.
like,
I like
center.
soccer
Yeah,
bodies.
like-
Soccer bodies are attractive.
Is that because of Blue Lock?
No, I actually haven't. I've seen only like one episode of Blue Lock.
Oh, okay.
I heard the anime is really good.
I read the manga. I feel like every time anime is brought up, I'm like, I read the manga
I
version
find
of
that
that
that's so
actually.
strange that you like. I'm not
No,
gonna
manga
judge you.
is so fast.
It's
I
just-
also
No.
prefer
It's
the manga over anime.
convenient. It's convenient.
It's so much faster. Also, because anime has to be like it's 20 minutes an episode, right? They have to like condense the frick out of it, so a lot of detail just gets like tossed out. I'm a person of detail. I like detail, so I like the manga.
For me, I like need to hear the voice.
Mm.
The voice is like
Oh.
so important to me.
The thing is, voice ruins it for me a lot.
What? Like
I
love,
understand that.
Like I love Japanese Sonic, his voice, but I don't like any of the American Sonics.
You know, like, yeah, I'm Sonic.
I
You know,
hate that.
like,
I hate that
Wow,
so
that's
much.
Let's go fast.
I hate that so much. In the video games, he was actually surprisingly okay though.
Yeah.
His
like
voice
Sonic
is,
Generations.
Yeah,
Are
like
those
Sonic
the-
Adventure 2. Like
Adventure, sorry.
his American voice is
He
like fine
also
to me.
doesn't talk that much in the Sonic Adventure games. I feel like, right? I don't know.
He talks.
Yeah,
he
he
talks
talks a
I
little
don't,
bit.
I don't
Yeah.
remember. I don't remember much of him talking.
I should buy a Dreamcast again. just
I-
to have-
Dreamcast
Yeah.
was
Dreamcast
like
one of the
best
best
systems
consoles
ever.
I
how,
agree.
How expensive would a Dreamcast be to buy?
Pretty expensive. I think.
Really?
Either very expensive or dirt cheap.
I think like was it Power Stone 2?
I
I
love
love
Power
Power
Stone.
Stone.
I
That's like
love Power
DBZ,
Stone.
but in like the anime world.
Power
There's a
Stone.
little bit of Smash Bros in it.
Yeah, yeah,
though,
yeah.
Too.
I just like because you
love
could like
Power
collect the
Stone
gems.
too.
The gems
you
and
go,
power
like,
up.
super.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, the Sonic games, especially with like the Chow Garden.
Yeah, I think the Sonic Adventure games were
Sonic
like the best
Adventure was
Sonic
so
games.
good.
What else was on?
Crazy Taxi.
Crazy. I didn't play Crazy.
Crazy Taxi was like the face of Dreamcast for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, I played Virtua Tennis. I remember thinking the
Tennis was
graphics
good
of
on there.
Virtua Tennis were insane.
I do think Dreamcast had some crazy graphics for its time.
Oh, it did.
Like
It was.
It was like way
insane.
ahead of all the systems.
Yeah.
That was Sega's last console, right?
Yeah.
And then they were
And
just like,
Didn't
"Fuck this, we're just gonna
Didn't
make."
it have like a little screen, like a digital screen?
Yes,
The
so the
memory
memory card
cards?
had
Yeah,
a
the
screen,
memory
Yeah.
cards were so.
Yeah.
Like Tamagotchi.
It
and that's
was
how
so
you would do
cool.
like
The chow
chow
stuff.
management.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
I
was
would bring
really
that to
sick.
school,
Yeah.
and my brothers would be like, "Where the fuck did the memory card go?" And I'd be like,
Oh no.
"Our chow's real healthy though," you know. Yeah, that shit was dope. God, fuck.
Dreamcast
Dreamcast.
was so good.
That makes me sad that that was like a failed console.
Wait,
So you can
really?
get it for $200
Yeah, it does.
on Amazon.
Like,
That's
they do-
actually not bad.
It's not that bad. It was a good system.
I do know that it was extremely easy to pirate games on a Dreamcast. Like,
Oh, I burned hella games.
I don't think there was. I don't know if we owned a single legitimate copy of a Dreamcast game back then. By the way, I didn't do any of this shit, Sega. This is my older brother's. I buy all my games legally now,
Sure.
mostly because I am way too lazy to actually pirate games anymore. It's just like I feel like with these like services like Steam, it's just like so convenient to just like
I do think Steam is
Yes.
like
Yeah.
kind of revolutionary.
Steam has pretty much made me like a legitimate video game owner.
It's also just way cheaper.
Yeah.
Like that was the whole thing I was talking to you about, like having a Steam Deck versus like my Switch. I'm buying the same game for like $40 cheaper.
Oh yeah, it's so
Wait,
much
it's
cheaper.
cheaper on the Steam Deck?
Well, it's like
Oh,
Steam
yeah.
Deck is like, so PC sales happen all the time.
yeah,
Like sales for Nintendo consoles hardly ever happen.
never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like a lot of the time they'll like release the game for the first time on Switch,
Yep.
and it'll be full price, right? Meanwhile, on Steam Deck, this game is actually released like 5 years ago because they released it for PC like first so long ago, and it'll have been hit by like multiple sales at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, now that you talk about it, I used to be like a hardcore console gamer, and then once I got to college, I started playing League of Legends, and then I downloaded Steam for CS:GO, and then I started like learning what Steam is. Ever since then, like I don't go to like video game stores anymore. I just buy. Well, now games kind of launch online anyway, but
Mm-hmm.
I legit like Steam is just like my video game store. Like
I do miss that era though, like
Oh,
the
like going into
midnight
a
releases
GameStop?
for
Midnights.
GameStop and
Midnight
like
Yeah, camp
releases.
out.
Yeah.
Also, it's just something about like getting that game and then you like open
Physically?
it.
Yeah,
and it's just, like,
opening
the
the
first time open,
case.
you smell it. You put the
You
CD
look at the
in.
little mini
You gotta look at the
guidebook.
manual
Yeah,
first.
The
yeah.
manual,
little
dude.
pamphlet thing.
It's so
you're
depressing
waiting.
opening a modern game now. It's open. There's nothing
Oh,
where
yeah,
Oh, the
now-
Switch
now-
is the worst one though.
Yeah, now it's
because
just like
it
a
has
slip of
nothing.
paper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just has
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
Like you
Or-
open up the entire game thing, but it's only at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
No,
like
but
you-
it's gotten even worse where you get the physical copy and it's just a code inside to download the game.
Yeah.
And it's
That
like, what is the
exists?
point? Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's
Yeah,
just not
like
the same.
I got the deluxe edition for Jedi Survivor, which is super cool by the way. Thank you, Star Wars. They in the collector's edition there is no physical copy of the game, I believe. I think they give you like a hard
The hard book.
Yeah, the
Okay.
book.
Yeah.
But inside of it is a code.
Mm.
So it's kind of like what the fuck was this even supposed to hold then? Like, you know what I mean? Like there's no CD in here. Like you're just supposed
I
to
mean,
download
there's
this
at
shit?
least like stuff,
Yeah.
right? Like cool stuff. Because there's literally games that have it's the basic thing and then there's a code inside.
Yeah. And there's like no manual either, right?
Yeah,
It's just
no,
like the
no.
code.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just fucking what is the point anymore, man? I don't know. I mean, I don't really buy physical games nearly as often anymore, unless there's
Yeah.
like a really cool collector's edition for it.
Or
which
if
is,
it requires it. There are like a few like peripheral games. Like I got that Nintendo Switch. You guys remember the
yeah,
workout game?
Ring Fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you
I
had to
also
buy
have
the
that.
physical copy for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, no real reason, honestly. So, yeah, digital is just like way more convenient, honestly. Like being able to just like switch between games without having to like fiddle with the actual cartridge. I know like a lot of people still enjoy just having the physical thing,
Yeah.
but I thought I would be like that, but I realized I'm just fucking lazy and I prefer
Yeah,
convenience overall.
convenience is
I wonder
just
if
so
convenience
nice.
like ruins everything.
I
like-
do think a part of convenience does ruin.
I think
a
it kind of
lot
ruins the
things.
magic of it.
Yeah.
I think it even kind of ruins the magic of like us gaming in a way. Like we
Yeah.
just like log on every day and then we like hang out in Discord and like play games and it's super convenient, but it's not like we're bond like
We're not like bound
once
to
upon
it.
a time when I was like 8 years old, okay, I'm like, hey, let's have a LAN party at my house. All my friends are like,
yeah.
fuck yeah. They get on their bikes and they're holding
Yeah.
a TV
Yeah.
while biking to my house, and they're bringing their Xboxes and they're bringing their controllers, and like all of us are just in my room, super degenerate. We have like 5 TVs hooked up. We're playing like Halo. We're like
Yeah.
screen looking, but we're saying we're not
Mhm.
screen looking, and like we're playing. And like there's something about that that's just like it's so like degenerate, but it's like a clubhouse like hangout that can't be replicated. Like now we just probably as kids like, oh, log on Fortnite, and then you never like interact in person.
Yeah.
Well, you just take it for granted because, like, before we talked about this in the past too. It was like it was an event when that happened. Like when I was younger, like I was given like an hour to play, like every other day or whatever. You'd sit down. I had the GameCube there. I would play it. But now it's just like the kid can just, oh, I want to play Fortnite. Boom, pop out my phone,
yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
like too
Oh,
much,
it's on
almost
the
like too much
phone.
of a good thing.
Yeah.
I think like having a digital library at your fingertips kind of makes you less committed to a game in general. Like you know, as a kid, you have a console if if you're lucky enough that your parents will buy you said console, right? And then the games are $60 each ish, which is a lot for especially in your parents' eyes, right?
Yeah.
So like they buy you like one game every 2 to 3 months maybe if like you've been very good, you know? So you're just playing the absolute fuck out of this one game because you're kind of committed to it. Like you can't be like, Mom, I don't really like this game. Can you buy me another one? Like maybe if you're fucking spoiled as shit, they'll let you do that.
Yeah.
But you basically play this game inside and out. You commit so many fucking hours to this one game. But now that you have just, I don't know, I have my Switch that has like a half terabyte memory card. So I have like almost like a terabyte of memory for just different games to have. And I just like scroll through like fucking 30 games. I'm like, I don't know what to play. There's nothing to play. You know?
It's kind of like you're easily bored.
Yeah, no, I think I'm sure there's like a term for this. It's like when a person has so many choices, just like
and they can't choose.
Choice paralysis.
And yeah, but not only that, but like suddenly choices aren't. It's like not important. Like for example, yeah, your parents buy you one game. That game is the only game you can play. You'll play the living heck out of that game. Now a game can be of like same quality, but because there's like 50 games of that same quality, you end up playing none of those games.
Yeah.
I don't know why that phenomena exists, but it definitely does.
I think it's like FOMO a little bit. Like you kind of, it's just like, well, for me, it's like, oh, there's so many good games. Which do I start? I'm starting this one. I'm playing it. I haven't finished it yet. There's like
other games
60 to 80 hours worth of content. My friends are playing multiplayer games together. I'm feeling FOMO. I want to play games with them. I put off that game. I play with my friends. Oh, I don't really want to go back to that game yet. Yeah. It's been long enough that like I don't actually plan on going back to that game. New game releases. I want to play that game. Yeah. But
dude, the thing is, I was gonna say I don't even think it's just about video games with that anymore. I feel like it's just like life with people too. We have so many choices these days of who we meet, who we see. The world used to be so much smaller, you know, like people would like marry their neighbors and stuff.
Right.
But now the scale is so big that people don't commit to anything.
Yeah.
Social media.
Yeah, social media and everything.
We have access to so much communication so quickly and so fast. It was just like, you know, when a game would come out, you would be waiting for the magazine that had the review in there, and you'd buy it. And
oh my god, like, I used to be way more fucking excited for the release of games.
Now I'm like, oh my god, that game launched. What?
Yeah.
When? Why? How?
Or like I would be like pretty excited for a game. It launches. I play it for like 3 hours.
And
never touch it again.
Yeah, exactly. Like I really miss just like devoting like endless hours to a game.
That's why I think like multiplayer competitive games are so popular, because it's like it's just like individual instances. Like, oh, I'm gonna have a unique experience for 2 to 3 hours that can't really be replicated. I'll be playing with friends, and it's not like there's no like progression in the sense like I pick up where I left off in like a story. It's more just like, oh, I'm just gonna play a few hours with friends.
Well, it's the same mentality that goes into like TikTok. Like you're gonna go to TikTok for maybe, obviously some people go for like an hour. I want to go for like 10 minutes just to scroll through. I want to jump on a multiplayer game for like 10 minutes.
Why are you on it for hours?
No, I have self-control.
I think TikTok has increased my bathroom time by like times 3.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Like no matter what I'm doing, if I'm gonna like shower, I'm like just in the bathroom like while water's heating up, and it like delays it by 10 minutes. Or I'm like going to the bathroom, it like delays it by 20 minutes. Like,
oh my goodness,
dude, God, I've had to create a new habit of just like only turning on the shower when I'm actually gonna get into the fucking shower. The amount of times where I turn it on for the water to heat up, which takes 15 seconds
I
at
walk
most.
around I like do so many things.
Go to the bathroom.
But then I just have been sitting on my toilet. I watched this is so bad. People are gonna fucking roast me for being like wasteful of water, which I was for sure. But like I literally have to place myself outside of the bathroom until like I actually go and do the thing that I was saying I was gonna do in the bathroom.
Wow. See, I'm a freak. I compromise the other way. I literally bought like this plastic casing that you can put in the shower.
Yeah.
And I just like, you can like touch the phone and everything on there, and I just literally leave whatever I'm watching on there, and I shower.
Yep.
I made a rule to not do that because
Wait, that
I
sounds
knew
lit.
I knew
Yeah.
for
No,
a fact if I do
I
that shit,
had
I'm
the
in the shower
exact
forever.
same
No,
thing.
I'm personally not in the shower any longer.
Oh.
I don't think it would make you be in there any longer. No, I legit have it in two positions. One where if I'm taking a bath, so it's lower, and then when I'm taking a shower, it's
Is
higher.
it one of those things where you stick it on the wall and then you can like pull it off and then it like?
Yeah, like, and you can like
Yeah, you
angle
can,
it
like,
because it's just
angle
like a
it, yeah.
knob. Yup.
Can you link
I-
that to
That
me?
sounds
Yeah,
like
I
a,
can
it's like a
link it
fucking
to
TV
you.
mount, but
And
for
then
your
I
phone
put,
in the
like,
shower.
It
I have two
is.
Bluetooth speakers that like are waterproof. I put one in the front and put one in the back.
It doesn't
Get a little
I was
like
surround
wondering how
sound.
people take
lengthen
long
anything.
showers. This is how.
No, I don't.
The only time I
I
take long
swear.
showers is when I like have a migraine and I just need the
To
hot water
sit?
to like fucking flow through my soul.
I only take long showers if I get like lost in the sauce. Like sometimes I'm like standing there in the hot water and I'm like thinking, I'm like, oh yeah, it'd be really cool. And I kind of like, I kind of like explore that idea, and then I'm kind of like, oh yeah. But then I'm like, wow, how long have I been in here? And it's like an hour.
Oh my gosh, no. I usually end up if I'm gonna take a long shower, I just take a bath.
Well, it's not. I don't know I'm gonna take a long shower. It's like I get in and I have like a thought, and then
it's
like
just
my
like a
mind
running
just
thought.
goes forever. Sometimes I
Wow.
wish my mind wouldn't do that.
Is it kind of like one of those like guy thoughts where like it's just like a really random tangent thought? If like someone like Celine asked you what are you thinking about, you'd say nothing.
Oh no, this is like one of those deep tangent thoughts that have like multiple tangent thoughts, like parallel universes.
Yeah.
And I'm exploring like each of them.
Damn, I feel like
Like if you
every
came into the
time
bathroom,
you shower, it sounds like you're taking shrooms.
if you like came into the bathroom while I was showering, I'm in that, I wouldn't even notice you.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Damn, you are
I don't
very.
think I've ever been that
absorbing your
deep
space,
in
yeah.
thought in the shower before. That's actually
For me, it's like
interesting.
opposite. I have no thoughts.
I
just
also have no
I have like
thoughts.
hot water pouring over my scalp. All I'm thinking is this hot water feels good over my scalp. That's like my only thought.
I don't have thoughts like when I'm waiting in line. Like Jamie always is like, "What do you think
Jamie's
about,
got
Sean?"
like a
I'm like, "Nothing." She's like, "You can't be thinking about nothing."
Yeah, she
I'm
always.
like,
Jamie's
"What
like,
do you want
I
me
have
to
a
say?"
billion thoughts. Like you can't be thinking about nothing. I'm like, no, I legit have nothing going on in my head.
Mine's just like 5 cats holding trumpets and they all play different sounds and they're trying to like play them at different notes at the highest level they can. I'm like, is that what you want me to say, Jamie?
Yeah, that is what.
That was a stupid thought. Was that worth
exactly what she
describing
wants
to
you
you?
to say.
That's great.
But yeah, no, I've never go that deep in thought in the shower. I used to take baths and like play like my Game Boy in the bathtub.
That's pretty similar to having deep thoughts
Yeah,
in the shower.
Instead of thoughts, I ended up playing games in the bathtub. But
Fuck. I miss the handheld era a lot.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
A lot. I think the Game Boy, either the Game Boy Advance or the DS is like probably my most played console
DS.
of all time.
I played
That
so
was
much of the
PSP.
DS. Yeah.
Damn, I never got on the PSP.
PSP
train.
had like the
Fucking
best
loved it.
graphics.
Oh my
For the-
god.
Like when
Yeah.
you go from like a Nintendo console to a PSP, it like
Yeah.
because the PSP is like it can play movies.
Yeah,
pretty
I was
much.
gonna say I think
Yeah.
PSP was also one of the first consoles to be able to be like do other things and just play video
Yeah,
Like a
games.
multimedia
Well,
device.
it's
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
PSP kind of feels like it has like a 3090 built into it. Like
Yeah,
the game,
yeah.
the game like restrictions on it are just so much higher or lower, I guess, that like the games that run on it have really good graphics. Versus
Yo,
like Nintendo,
but did you
it's
have
like,
PictoChat?
that sounds like a low graphics game.
Listen, that's how I cheated through calculus in high school. I'm gonna just
Wait,
say.
really?
Yeah. I'm so sorry to my calculus teacher whose name I forget. So she did not know what the fucking Nintendo DS was. I feel like I told this story in this.
And then I always follow up with my PSP as a calculator.
Yeah. But I love it though. But it's
Wait,
just,
a PSP definitely looks more like a calculator to
so
me.
do you know what PictoChat is?
Wait, you're playing this on a DS?
On the DS. Do you know what PictoChat is?
No.
So PictoChat was a built-in piece like program where you could like draw things and send them to other DS users.
Like an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
Can you do
No,
that on
Can you
Apple?
do that on
Yeah,
Apple
you
Watch?
Yeah.
like
They
What
went
the
for-
fuck? You
I
could
have
do
an
that on an
Apple
Apple Watch?
You
I
send
he
little
has
you send
one.
little art things.
You're gonna have to show
put
me
like
after
a
this.
smiley face.
I
and
didn't
stuff.
fucking-
I don't have it. But
I use this.
He
for-
has one
I
on.
use this thing
How
for
long
time.
Have you had that for?
You
That's like
use
one
an
of the
Apple
Wow, you
Watch
use a watch for time?
time?
That's
It's
lame.
I use this shit for time and also for like the fitness stuff, like the health
Oh, I
stuff.
use mine just to find my phone.
Oh,
To
I
find
that
my
might be the
recently
best
I
thing.
found out
Yeah.
about that feature like very recently.
Greatest feature.
Like I didn't know that AirTags made noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was
have
like,
one on my
oh my
wallet.
god! So that's why I bought this fucking wallet that has the AirTag on it.
Yeah,
because
I
I
have the
keep
same
losing this
one.
shit. Don't look at me like that. All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm learning a lot today. I didn't know that you could send those messages. Anyway, just to wrap up that story really quickly. Yeah. So I cheated in calculus using a DS because you could send pictures to each other. My calculus teacher thought that the DS was a new type of calculator. So what we would do is like we would just have DSs write the answer and then send them to each other.
That's crazy.
If I'm a teacher and I see a DS, I like know it's not a calculator.
Well, I don't know. She immigrated from Russia like not that long ago at the time.
That's a cool DS.
And
That's a cool calculator.
she didn't question it. So maybe, dude, maybe she did fucking know and she just didn't care. Like maybe she knew.
Wait,
like,
do you have a
think she cared.
stencil?
Yeah, I had.
So you're like writing on your calculator, and the teacher's not like, you know what?
She never fucking
Peter
questioned
would
it.
never cheat in this class.
No, I was a horrible student. So like, if anything, like I am definitely the type of person that would cheat. But like, I will say that it was inconsequential in the long run. So.
Wow.
Long as you pass.
Watch, like someone from my high school is gonna like invalidate my diploma or some shit. But
Gets revoked.
yeah, actually. Anyway, that is actually it for our time today. We blew through an hour pretty fast again. Thank you so much to Celine and Sean for joining us on another episode of Boomer versus Zoomer.
Thank you for
Where
having
can we?
us.
Yeah,
Was
thanks
it?
for having
Thanks
us.
for
Oh.
having us.
Sorry, I thought. I don't know why it sounded so hostile in my brain. What you said. I don't
Thanks
know.
for having us.
Yeah, something like that. But I was just like, I'm sorry, Sean.
I would never be hostile to you.
Anyway, where can we find you guys?
I stream
What
on
do you
Twitch.
mean? Oh.
Seanic. What? Like he wants your home address.
I was like, where can you find it? We're
Yeah, please
sitting
dox
right
us.
here.
Oh my God. Sorry. On the internet, where can we find you?
I don't know. What does that question mean?
Okay, so you can find Selena at twitch.tv/Starsmitten. I believe you could also find her under Starsmitten on her other social platforms. I think Twitter is Starsmitten _, something like that. But you
wow,
could,
you know the underscores there.
Yeah.
Thanks.
anyway, you can find her there. And then Sean, you can find on either Shonic or Hypershonic on most platforms, if I'm not mistaken.
You don't have an underscore?
No.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
And we'll be playing games with Peter. So if you just know
That's
Peter,
true.
you'll see us.
Yeah, we'll be playing Monster Hunter Rise
I'm so
together.
sad.
on our next
Oh
stream.
no, we're not gonna be playing that game. But I'll play any other game.
Monster Hunter World together. We'll be playing. I'm totally kidding. Do you guys have any like upcoming projects? Anything that we should be excited for, or anything like that?
I'm just playing hardcore WoW. You know.
Cool.
So you probably won't see me that much.
Yeah.
I'll be in
Yeah.
Discord though. You know.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. Thank you for having us. We will catch you on the next episode. Peace.